After the ending tease of episode 8, we finally get Spider-Man back in his classic red and blue outfit, and I gotta say, there is nothing better than seeing Spider-Man in a perfect red and blue outfit. We had it at the end of No Way Home. We got 2 episodes with it here, and I gotta say, the suit is amazing. And just with episode 9, they kicked it off real fast. Surprisingly, we started right with Scorpion, and I really enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the previous episodes with Scorpion, you're certainly going to enjoy this one. The fight is even more intense than it was before, and I really enjoyed it. I like Gargan. I like how he's still potential Sinister Six member for later down the line as he's in jail with other Sinister Six members that are eventually going to be there. And I like the fights. The fights are really well done. I liked seeing Peter's moral battle with respect versus responsibility and whether or not he should be holding back and if he should kill Scorpion. I also liked how we got I would say the conclusion of Lonnie's arc and he's finally become Tombstone as we know in the comics. I dig it. I like it a lot. I like how even though he's still a gang member, he's still Peter's friend and still tries to see the good in him. That even if Lonnie's going down a different path, he still wants other people to do things differently than how he's doing it. Greatly appreciated that. I enjoy this episode a lot. I think it's my favorite episode of the two. I really like the dynamic and the fight that Scorpion and Spider-Man had in the moral dilemma and the conversation that Peter had with Norman and that reveal, which I'm extremely happy about. I'm surprised we didn't get that next season. I'm very happy we're moving fast with it and that we see it now instead of later, as there's so many teases in this episode alone. I'm so excited.
I didn't love these last 2 episodes, but that's not a bad thing because I was telling Griff I can't find a single thing to complain about. Usually with shows, even some of the most beloved stuff for me, there's always something that I can nitpick about. Here, saying I don't love them doesn't mean I disliked them in any bit. I can't find a single thing bad to say about either of the 2 episodes. Seeing Spider-Man in his red and blue is, I mean, that's just equivalent to waiting to see Daredevil in his red and black. It's just, it's cool to look at. It's comic book accurate. It's fun. His colors are bright and very vivid, and it's meant to be that way. And it was missed. Although I did enjoy everything up until now, seeing him wear his iconic red and blue, it's just it's just the cherry on top. Because that's who Spider-Man is to me. Fuck the
Future
what's it
Foundation
called?
suit was fucked up.
I
It makes sense,
I've
but
never liked the Future
I
Foundation
I
suit.
loved Harry's description of it, calling it sterile because it is. It is so. It's just a sterile look, and I'm happy we're gone from it.
Yeah, or any other suit. I remember watching the MCU and when he's, Iron Spider and all this other shit. It was fun to watch, but I just at the end of No Way Home, when we get him in his normal red and blue, that just was
The No Way Home
the
suit, the
cherry
ending
on
one,
top of
is
that.
the best. But I will say
Absolutely.
the Spider-Man PS4 game has an amazing suit that I think does rival this suit.
I haven't seen it, but I gotta check it out. The fights with anyone, but particularly with Scorpion. We all know that Spider-Man would hand all of these dudes their asses, but because he holds back so much, but he doesn't hold back because, oh, I'm being a pussy and I just don't, because he's afraid of his power. He doesn't know his limits and he doesn't want to, kill somebody. And remember, he's a kid. He's not this 30-year-old fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. He's a kid. He's in high school. So imagine being a kid and killing someone. That's not normal day shit. Well, not none of what he does is normal day shit. But the fact that he's able to sit there and be like, I gotta bring it down a notch because I don't know my power range. I might kill someone. I find that interesting about the Spider-Man fights. He could have this fight 30 seconds in. The fact that he doesn't is what makes Spider-Man that level of a hero to me, is the fact that I don't think he knows what I know, that he could go in there and win the fight, which is would make it makes reading it very interesting to me. But also I have to remind myself, oh, he's a kid. Because sometimes I get frustrated. I'm like, fuck, Spider-Man just slapped the shit out of him. But I'm like, oh, yeah, he's a kid in high school. And he doesn't know he could just like remember that was it first episode or second episode where that guy, the arson guy, He's like, just stay down. I don't want to hurt you. And the guy doesn't listen. So he smacks the shit out of him and knocks him out. He knocked him out with a smack. And then that's how he's slowly realizing, oh shit. Seeing Lonnie and his arc coming full circle, but still struggling with the fact that, hey, but Peter's my friend, and I still have people that care about me. I like the fact that he's there, but he's still struggling.
Is he
It's not
struggling
like
though?
Vader. Kind of. I mean, yeah, because he still has friends. It's not like with like Vader. Like once he went full Vader, he's in the suit. He's like, well, Padme's dead. Obi's a dick. I might as well just be full evil. Scorpion's design. I've never really liked Scorpion's design. I really like it here. It just makes sense, and I can't believe they got it better here than anywhere else. Because here I'm like, I could see some dude wearing that shit. Maybe that's just me, but I could totally see it. The dynamic between Norman, we all know Norman's a dick. Because he's always been a dick. In the comics and the animated series, there's always something wrong with Norman. We always kind of knew it was going to lead up to his BS, but I still like the dynamic between him and Peter. One of my biggest issues from the beginning of the series, even when we got the trailer and the animated artwork, was fucking Norman and Harry's look. Not their race swap, but particularly Harry, his fucking androgynous like prince type look. I've become so enveloped in the character that that's not an issue for me anymore. I buy into the fact that he's this super rich kid that if he walks down the street to a Starbucks, people are gonna take his picture, and that he has no friends, and so Peter becomes his one friend, and the relationship grows. I'm 100 like to me, I'm like, okay, that's what I was missing from the fucking MCU Spider-Mans was Harry Osborn's friendship. Fuck Ned. I like Spider-Man. I love him, the attention to detail. I love him having traction at the bottom of his shoes. Because I've always thought that that's something that should happen. I like the fact that he's small and slender because he's Spider-Man. He should be and very agile. Episode 10, I want to say that it's just as good as episode 9. I know that's a weak selling point, but that it really is. I mean, it doesn't differ that much from it. Uh, Story wise, the characters are really well written. They go from point A to point B in a natural way. Spider-Man, the fights, he has to, amp himself up a little bit more. He has to push himself, as Norman told him, don't hold back or you're going to get your ass kicked. I like seeing the progression of that. As with episode 9, I don't have a single thing to say bad about this episode. I love probably every character. Obviously, of course, Spider-Man the most. I don't know. I really like the way that things are set up for season 2. One would think that I would complain that we didn't get enough Daredevil here, but with the snippet that we got in the previous episode, I was happy with. And again, this is a Spider-Man show, so I don't need oversaturation of other heroes. We got Iron Man for like 30 seconds last time, and I was totally happy with that because that cameo to me worked. Showed up, moved his mask, showed that he was Tony Stark, said hello, got the hell out of there. Didn't need more. Going into this show, I was like, I don't like the animation. I don't like certain characters' designs. None of that is an issue for me now. In fact, now I'm a big fan of the animation now. I kind of want to see more of this kind of shit.
Yeah. I really liked episode 10. I do agree. I think it's about on par of episode 9. I liked Norman's goal of building this interstellar wormhole because it makes complete sense on why. Like his reasoning makes so much sense, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. I also liked the twist, I guess, with they brought back Doctor Strange and that leads back into the first episode. I thought that was really well done, and I liked how we got more teases about. I'm hoping we're gonna get Clintar instead of just Venom. So I'm hoping they do continue with it and we do get Clintar, but we are for sure going to get Venom next season, at least an actual Venom instead of just the Venomized monster. So I'm super excited for that. I really enjoyed this episode. There were so many lore drops from Webb to Harry's board inviting people. I've looked at all of the names. There are definitely a few of them that catch my eye that I'm really excited for. On the list, we're gonna get Electro. We know about Finesse that we saw with Daredevil. There are 8 different people. I'm very excited for that. And I think this episode felt like a really good conclusion to season one. Yeah, there were teases for season two, but it doesn't feel like we ended on any cliffhangers, and it felt like a natural stopping point. And I liked it. I like the feeling of it. I like the growth that Spider-Man's had. His talk with Doctor Strange at the end, where like, do you think I'm prepared? It felt a lot like Into the Spider-Verse, where like the leap of faith. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I don't have a bad thing to say about this. It sets up season two perfectly. We already know we got the announcement that that's a go. They're probably already starting working on that.
Well, it's already halfway done.
Sadly, we
Well, it's
oh,
halfway done
so
5 weeks ago.
we may get that way before we get season two of X-Men 97. That's just how the world works. I'm okay with that.
For next season, there are so many things I'm really excited to see. We know we're gonna get more Otto Octavius. I'm hoping they're gonna go with the Ben Riley arc instead of the Spider Soldiers with Norman. I think Ben Riley would be really cool because we've seen it in the animated series, but it's one of those more forgotten things. I hope we get pushed forward because I think that'd be really fun to see. They are building towards the Sinister Six, and I'm hoping that they start building towards Roxxon because I think for season three, Roxxon would be a really good plot point, especially with everything that's coming up and everything they've foreshadowed. I think Roxxon just is going to start to fit a lot more. And not to mention, we got a lot more foreshadowing with Nico and her powers, and I'm so excited for season two. I don't think we're gonna get it this year purely because they've released their schedule for this year and it's not on the animated list. Probably will be coming out in 2026 though. And I like how each animated show feels separate and unique while still being part of like a greater Marvel universe. And a big part of that's because of their animation. Each show has a different animation style, and I love it. Oh, and before forget, each animated show has the Watcher in it, and I kind of like that. But I do hope we get some sort of payoff with it. But it is kind of weird how he was featured in X-Men 97. He's featured here. I wonder if they're teasing something or if it's just more what if stuff. We know we're not getting more, but we know he's at least looking at the universes. So we'll see if we actually get anything with it.
I hope it has some. I may be way off, but I hope it has something to do with Secret Wars.
I okay, I wouldn't put it past Disney at this point. So Web, the Worldwide Engineering Brigade, was something that originated in Disneyland. That wasn't from the comics at first. And I promise there's a point for this. And one thing because of that, I wouldn't put it past Disney to do anymore, is they're introducing new attractions at Disneyland and Disney World that has to do with multiversal clashes to fight King Thanos. So maybe the Watcher has something to do with that. I wouldn't have put any money on it until I saw Web, but we'll see. I hope it's Secret Wars, but I think it would be a little weird to see animated and live action characters side by side. I don't know if that's something people would necessarily go for. I mean, that's very much Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Do you think that would really work in this context?
Maybe not see them side by side, but maybe see their worlds die.
I could be okay with that, but I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we'll see. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you thought about this show and these final two episodes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode and if you haven't checked out our previous reviews for this show, please go check it out. If you enjoyed these two episodes, you're most certainly going to enjoy the rest of the show.
Take care, guys.